So every one of our national park, battlefields, and historic sites are going to have special events in honor of America 250. And I even think we're going to have a UFC fight. We're going to have, does anybody watch UFC, the great Dana White? We're going to have a UFC fight. We're going to have a UFC fight. Think of this, on the grounds of the White House. We have a lot of land there. We're going to build a little, we're not, Dana's going to do it. Dana's great, one of a kind. We're going to have a UFC fight, championship fight, full fight, like 20, 25,000 people. And we're going to do that as part of 250 also. We're going to have some incredible events, some professional events, some amateur events, but the UFC fight's going to be a big deal too.
When they get the Octagon set in the ring, I'm telling you right now, they're going to make a hype video.
And they have Pelosi fight McConnell.
Yes,
that's what they got to do.
If you want to get me to buy the ticket,
if you're going to turn us into like this bizarre, like capitalist hellfest, I don't care about the actual UFC fighters.
Yeah.
Get AOC against Pete Hegseth or something.
Yeah, I mean, Hegseth
would ruin her. That would be a terrible fight.
But I wouldn't mind seeing Marjorie Taylor Greene versus AOC.
That's a better fight. That's a much better fight.
I mean, Iman versus Bobert.
You want to get your bridge built in Michigan? Win a fight.
Go, local fight.
Fucking fight.
Let's go. And let's
none of this pork barrel shit. Can you suffocate the rival state senator?
You're a filibuster. I don't care if you could talk for 36 hours.
Cut off their windpipe.
Oh my God, dude! The idea of MTG going release the Epstein files when someone's in a choke.
That would be awesome on Matt Gaetz or something.
He's like, and he goes, I know she did so much CrossFit. And she's like, I'm not gonna release the files.
Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans across the globe, brace yourselves for a historic announcement that's shaking up both the political arena and the Octagon. In a move no one saw coming, President Donald J. Trump has declared that the first ever UFC White House event will be held on the South Lawn. And it's all going down on his 80th birthday. That's right. The commander-in-chief of controversy is teaming up with UFC President Dana White to bring the fight game straight to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. According to Trump, it's going to be the biggest, most patriotic, most electrifying fight night America's ever seen. Rumor has it, the event will feature a mix of UFC legends, rising stars, and even a few surprise celebrity appearances, all under the bright lights of the nation's capital. The announcement sent shockwaves through social media, with fans and fighters already buzzing about who might headline this unprecedented showdown. Dana White himself called it a once-in-a-lifetime event, the kind of thing only Trump could pull off. From the Oval Office to the Octagon, this one's bound to make history. Whether you love him or hate him, one thing's for sure. When Trump says, "Let's make fight night great again," you know it's going to be a spectacle like no other.
We're having a fight at the White House? So how, okay, take me into the think tank here. We're having dinner with the president at the White House. We overlook a yard. I assume there's a name for the yard. I should know it. I don't know it. A garden of something. You look out there. There's enough space out there. We could do an event out here. Is that how this comes together? This sounds like some of the most insane sports stuff in history. That backdrop of the White House / Kid Rock's looking house, you have that right there. Then bang, the Octagon right there, and then a select crowd of people. That seems like a movie, not real life. How did we get here? And where are we in the development of that?
I agree. So the president has this whole thing where he wants to bring Americans back to the White House. He's like, this is America's house. Everybody should be able to come and enjoy it. Easter egg hunts on the lawn and all this stuff. He says, I think we should do a fight here at the White House. And I was like, okay, I'm in. So he told Ivanka to handle it and start the talks with me. So my team went out there and did all the recon on it. We're putting together a whole pitch, and we're going to fly out there in a couple weeks and walk the president through it and see what he likes and doesn't like and start fine-tuning this thing. And we're going to put on an incredible event at the White House on the South Lawn.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of your fighters are excited to be like, hey, if we're going to do something historic and legendary, we're okay being a part of that. Even somebody that maybe was retired.
UFC President Dana White didn't hold back his enthusiasm when news broke that President Donald Trump was bringing the Ultimate Fighting Championship to the most iconic address in America, the White House. Speaking to reporters outside UFC headquarters, White described the upcoming event as something only Trump could dream up, and only the UFC could pull off. His trademark grin stretched from ear to ear as he laid out his vision for what's being called the most historic fight night in combat sports history. I've put on fights all over the world: Vegas, Abu Dhabi, Madison Square Garden. But this one? This is on another planet, White said. The South Lawn of the White House is going to become the toughest, most exclusive arena on Earth. This isn't just a fight card, it's a moment in American culture. And honestly, nobody loves a big show more than Donald Trump. White took a moment to reflect on Trump's long-standing connection to the UFC, noting that the president was one of the first major figures to publicly support the organization back in the early 2000s, when mixed martial arts was still fighting for mainstream recognition. People forget, Dana said. When everyone else wanted nothing to do with us, Trump opened his doors. He hosted UFC events at his properties. He believed in the fighters, he believed in the brand. So yeah, seeing this come full circle, it's special. As for what fans can expect from the spectacle, White promised that the UFC White House event would feature a stacked card, American pride, and enough fireworks to light up DC. He added that he and Trump were working closely to ensure the night would blend the intensity of the Octagon with the patriotic spirit of a 4th of July celebration. We're not talking politics, Dana emphasized. We're talking pure passion, pure competition, and pure entertainment. This is going to be a night that defines what it means to be American. Tough, bold, and fearless. With a laugh and a confident shrug, White wrapped up the press conference with a line that instantly lit up social media. We're taking the fight game straight to the front steps of the White House, and if you thought Fight Island was crazy, just wait till you see Fight House. In a stunning announcement that's left both the political world and the fight community buzzing, President Donald J. Trump has declared that he will host a live UFC event at the White House, making history as the first president, past or present, to turn America's most famous residence into an arena for combat sports. Speaking before a crowd of reporters and supporters, Trump made the surprise revelation with his signature flair and confidence. We're going to have the biggest, most exciting UFC fight ever. Right here at the White House, Trump said, gesturing proudly. No one's ever done anything like this before. It's going to be tremendous. The best fighters, the best fans, and the most beautiful lawn you've ever seen. Believe me. Trump, who has long been a vocal supporter of UFC President Dana White and the sport of mixed martial arts, said the event would symbolize American strength, toughness, and freedom. He emphasized that the fight would not be political, but rather a celebration of the nation's fighting spirit. This isn't about politics, he added. This is about showing the world what America's made of: courage, power, and heart. Nobody does it like us. According to Trump, the event, already being dubbed UFC White House Showdown, will take place on the South Lawn and feature a monumental fight card packed with UFC legends and rising stars. While details about the matchups remain under wraps, Trump hinted that the night would include a few very special guests, teasing that some big names want to step into that octagon. Dana White, a longtime ally and personal friend of Trump, praised the bold move, calling it a moment that blends history, entertainment, and pure adrenaline. White said he and his team are working closely with Trump's staff to transform the South Lawn into a one-night-only Octagon spectacle worthy of global attention. We've done Fight Island, we've done Vegas, but the White House, that's a new level, White said. This is the kind of thing only Trump could make happen. Trump wrapped up his announcement with his signature showmanship, flashing a grin as he declared, "When I said we were going to make America strong again, I meant it. And what's stronger than the UFC fighting at the White House? It's going to be beautiful, it's going to be historic, and everyone's invited to watch. Get ready. It's going to be a knockout." With that, the crowd erupted, the cameras flashed, and the sports world began to buzz with one question: who will headline the first ever fight in White House history?
So every one of our national park, battlefields, and historic sites are going to have special events in honor of America 250. And I even think we're going to have a UFC fight. We're going to have, does anybody watch UFC, the great Dana White? We're going to have a UFC fight. We're going to have a UFC fight. Think of this, on the grounds of the White House. We have a lot of land there. We're going to build a little, we're not, Dana's going to do it. Dana's great, one of a kind. We're going to have a UFC fight, championship fight, full fight, like 20, 25,000 people. And we're going to do that as part of 250 also. We're going to have some incredible events, some professional events, some amateur events, but the UFC fight's going to be a big deal too.
And that's all for now. Fight fans. Trump's turning the White House into the Fight House, and history's about to be made. Stay tuned right here on Octagon HQ for all the updates, rumors, and action from the heart of the fight world.